Gemini, let's jump into it and have a look and see what the basis of this connection is between the both of you. Okay, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, you've got the card of insight. This is very powerful again. I mentioned purity with the priestess of innocence, and that sort of has come up again with this white divine light. White being the most purest light of all, and the fact that this has come up, this is very genuine. And for a lot of you, this connection could very well be the real deal. I think the intentions this person is coming forward is very genuine, or they're genuinely going to grow very true feelings for you. Insight is all about enlightenment and learning and understanding. So there is a genuine enlightenment that's coming from this person when the two of you do connect. She's almost in a trance-like state here, so I feel like this is a very magnetic connection that could almost have you feeling like you're in a bit of a trance, Gemini. Whether it's like you almost feel like you're living out a fantasy, or it almost doesn't feel real. Even when you connect with this person, there might be times you might be asking yourself, is this person even real? Like, how did they come to me? How did I find them? Or how did they find me? But you've got the numbers 1 and 3 here, which make 4. Now, 4 is a number of concreteness and solidarity here. So this is a very solid connection where you'll feel very, very secure. The both of you actually will feel very, very secure in this connection here. So let's focus on the strengths and have a look and see what comes up for you here, Gemini. Oh, this is very powerful. One of your strengths is the fact that, you might be coming into this relationship as a twin flame union, twin flame soulmate union here with the 2 of Cups. What I love here is the fact that there is equality and there's mutual feelings and emotions. So the 2 of you, I don't feel like a lot of things will be one-sided, because the 2 of Cups indicates that things could be very well equal. You're both coming in with the same feelings, or you might start to fall in love or get very attached at the same time, which is a lot of reciprocity and equality here as well. So mutual respect, things like mutual understanding, support, but also that you're both coming into this wanting the same thing. And whether it be a relationship that's open, whether it be a marriage or an engagement, essentially the long-term goal or the vision that you have for yourself in love matches that of this person. And suddenly this becomes a strength of yours. So this is very powerful. Now the Leo above, the lion-like symbol above this 2 of Cups figures, indicates a lot of initiative, okay? It indicates a relationship that's quite powerful and quite strong. If we just analogize it to the animal of the lion, it's all about initiative and strength and power. So it's a very powerful connection, but you'll almost feel like you'll have a lot of power in the relationship, despite that it being somewhat equal connection for the most part. But this is a twin flame union for a lot of you, which is absolutely beautiful here, Gemini, and you'll feel it. Maybe not right away, maybe it's going to take you some time, but it's definitely real here. It's the real deal for a lot of you. Another strength has come up in the form of the 6 of Swords. Now, the 6 of Swords is all about movement and progression. It's all about moving away from the murky, toxic energy and coming into serene, peaceful waters. Now, what I love about this is that the horizon here almost mimics the notion of a future. When we look into the horizon, we're looking into the future. We're setting sail for bigger adventures, long-term goals, what we'd like to acquire. So I feel like your strengths could A, lie in the future, and B, it could also be the fact that you both want a similar future together. Now, because Swords represents communication, I feel like your communication will become stronger and more effective as the relationship progresses. The boat can also symbolize protection, so I feel like the both of you could be very protective over each other. Protective over each other's interests, over each other's goals, just over each other's affections and love. And also the lion is notorious for being quite protective and primitive over his pride and over those he looks after. So I like what that represents here for you, Gemini. Travel and adventure could also be one of your strengths, because you might both like to do these things and could definitely be able to bond quite strongly over these things. So that is quite exciting. It could also be anything to do with family plans, or building a family home. or needing a family home, needing a base, needing security, needing support. I really feel like this person is going to jump in the boat literally with you and be very, very happy to do that. So that's absolutely fantastic. Oh, okay. Weaknesses. We've had a card that's come out. It is the Hermit, which is a Virgo energy. Now, in a context of, I guess, not negativity, but challenge, the Hermit can be somewhat challenging because he's deeply self-critical and likes independence and autonomy. And when he's too overbearing or too self-critical, he tends to retreat, okay, and backs away. Now, you might find that there is a lot of overanalyzing that occurs in this relationship, whether it's by you, Gemini, or perhaps by your partner. The Hermit needs time to reflect, needs solitude. And oftentimes that might be misconstrued by the other person as you pulling away or them pulling away, which can cause anxiety. I say anxiety because Virgos are so prone to anxiousness. They're very, very intellectual. They do seek perfection. They see and hear everything. They take everything into account. So because of their very considerate and agile mind, they are often prone to anxiousness or anxiety-induced behavior. And I feel like that could even be paranoia. I'm not sure if it's paranoia about trust issues or about how you might be conducting yourself in a relationship or how they might be conducting themselves in a relationship. But nonetheless, the fact that the Hermit comes up here in the sense of challenge, it could be self-sabotaging or self-critical behavior. It could even be being critical about your lover or them being critical about you. So it might be a message here that you need to be aware of their sensitivity, or you need to be more considerate about their insecurities or about things that are happening around them. Maybe that's a cautionary message here with that Hermit. But you also have the King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands in a context of challenges, the King of Wands is quite fiery and a little bit ill-tempered. Sometimes he becomes a little bit explosive, or when he's very passionate, he's often very, very impatient. So could be both of you, could be one of you, but impatience or explosiveness could, conflict. I feel like he represents Aries, the god of war, god of conflict, because of his fiery temperament and the fact that he sits unsettled in his throne here. It almost is like someone's ready to challenge or debate or conquest, or something like this here, Gemini. The King of Wands is also unsettled in a lot of ways. I think in one way you can find a lot of stability together. I think the connection could be quite genuine, but at the same time, the King of Wands, it's almost like something is incomplete or something is missing, and then that's why the King of Wands gets up and sits up, because he's ready to chase it elsewhere. And it could be the notion of someone that gives up too easily or isn't as, I guess, resilient, or maybe perseverant, I should say. Maybe is not perseverant or competitive for you or for your affections, or vice versa. You might not be as, I guess, perseverant for this person. It's almost like giving up easily or throwing your hands up in the air, and because the King of Wands comes up with that unsettled energy. And I only say that because I'm reading it in the context of barriers and challenge and things like that. It is hot-headedness and it is impulsiveness. So that could be detrimental in this relationship. It could be something that isn't ideal and leads to outbursts or leads to very spur-of-the-moment decisions that aren't necessarily thought through or rationalized or even backed up with logic. And that might impact on the relationship. Of course, not for all of you Geminis, but for some that could be an issue here. So it might be something that you'll need to work through as your connection or relationship progresses. Okay. Look, I will leave it at that though, Gemini. Thank you again for tuning in.